Tonight's the Groundhog Day. Now, I think we'd all agree that this is one of the great all-time comedies. We'd probably also agree that it's one of the great spiritual movies of all time. Well, I don't know, maybe not spiritual, maybe metaphysical. I don't know, see, my problem is I can't even begin to conceive of anything as vast or incomprehensible or magical as God or the cosmos, which seem to be one and the same to me, except through metaphysics. And I know metaphysics is not a physical path, a spiritual path. Metaphysics is just physics trying to allow itself to embrace all the magic that's out there. But it's this concept of 10,000 lifetimes, or 100,000 lifetimes, or 105 million lifetimes. This is a Sufi concept, I think. And I heard a Sufi story. A student asks his master, how many more lifetimes must I live before I will attain completion? And the master says, 10,000 lifetimes. And the student says, fuck this, I'm out of here. Another student asks the master, how many more lifetimes must I live before I attain completion? The master says, 100,000 lifetimes. The student says, I better get to work then. And the teacher says, you're almost there. And the people who tell this story, when they tell this story, they're not talking about reincarnation like you were Cleopatra in that life and you're Elvis Presley in the other life, right? They're talking about being born into the exact same life over and over and over again, ad infinitum, improving on it just a little bit every time for millennia, except you can't say millennia because this is a concept that exists outside of time, or if not outside of time, then in maybe a moment of time, because every moment, all time is one. Every moment embraces past, present, and future. But you can say ad infinitum, because this has everything to do with infinity. You know the infinity sign, the elongated figure 8 laying on its side? Okay, well, the way I understand what this symbolizes, and this understanding comes from just this delving into the meta world of metaphysics, is it's less of a Mobius strip and more of an electromagnetic coil. And because our beings, our bodies, everything about us are coursing with electricity, am I right? And this coil is wrapped tightly around a core. Maybe there's no core, but it's wrapped tightly around. And if you looked at the whole thing, it would look like a solenoid or something like that. And every revolution of this coil is one lifetime. And the whole solenoid altogether is one lifetime. Because if all moments are one moment, past, present, and future, then every lifetime is one lifetime. And you keep living these moments over again in the same lifetime, the same moments over and over again, so that if you could draw a line up the side of that coil, right, you'd be marking the same moment in every lifetime. And if you could set a spark on that one line, that'd be deja vu.
All over again.
Right? So we keep getting reborn over and over again into the same lifetime, just like a cell in your arm lives about 2 days, right? And then there's another cell there, it's gone. There's another cell just exactly the same as that cell, does exactly the same thing, lives another 2 days, on and on and on, right, in your body. But the cool thing about the coil is that there's a current. It's electrical, and the current is moving upward. It's evolving. Even if you did no spiritual work at all in your whole life, its nature is to evolve. 10,000 revolutions, 100,000 revolutions, until finally it escapes into the ether. So we're all going to get there at some point anyway. Or it could be argued that if all moments are one moment, all lives are one moment, we're already there. Right? And if you could really understand this, if you could really become conscious to it and present to it, then maybe you wouldn't have to keep going around the circle. Maybe you could conduct yourself up the outside of that coil, or maybe you could leave it completely, and that would be nirvana. But to become conscious is to become a spiritual being. And metaphysics is not the path to spirituality. The path to spirituality is taught in the most esoteric of religious teachings. And esoteric means secret. It's the kind of secret that you could stand on a park bench and scream out at the top of your lungs and nobody would quite hear you. But Groundhog Day lays it all out with such simple humanity that we all just get it, right? That's what I think.